Welcome back, Julie here, and today I want to share with you my organization tips. So one of the questions I get asked so frequently by my clients and just people who know me in general is, how do you stay organized? How do you plan your life? Because I'm somebody who loves organization. I love future planning. I love envisioning what I want my life to be like and then taking actionable steps in order to create that and make that real life. So I'm going to share with you my favorite ways to set yourself up for success for the month of March. And you can do this every single month. I do this every single month. But essentially all you need today is a notebook, a planner, and a hanging wall calendar. Those are the three things that I use to organize on a monthly basis. So what I usually do is start off by setting my intentions for the month. And all you need to do for that is grab a notebook. You just open up your notebook. I like to play some nice music in the background and get a cup of coffee and just sit down and think about what is it that I want to bring to life through this month. And here's the thing with goals and goal setting that I found to be where a lot of people make a mistake is that they plan way too far out in the future. They're like, okay, 1 year from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now, I want to be in X place. And while it's great to have that kind of larger vision to work towards, it's really the day-to-day things, the habits that you have on a daily basis that add up to those long-term results. So I like to break it down monthly, weekly, daily even, which I'll show you today. But essentially the more you can break it down and the more actionable the items are, the closer you're going to be to your end goal in the long run. So like I said, I just like to sit down, I write out March 2008 intentions at the top, and then I organize this into 4 categories. So category number 1, I have business. Category number 2, I have love. Category number 3, I have health. And category number 4, I have self-care. So those can be very particular to you. For instance, if you don't have a business of your own, maybe you can plan out work goals that you have or just something that you want to achieve, a hobby, an interest, whatever. Love pretty much just means relationships. It's not necessarily with your significant other, although I do have goals with Mark. Health is just how often do you want to work out? What do you want your eating to look like? And self-care is just how are you going to really take care of yourself so that you can feel like your cup is full and you have enough to give to your hobbies and your tasks and your work and your relationships for the rest of the day. So in my business, I'll just tell you mine, you know, if you want to listen, then cool. If not, fast forward to step 2. So in my business, I have released my Fitness is an Inside Job ebook. I have per week, I like to do, it's my intention to do 1 newsletter, 1 blog, 2 videos, and 1 podcast. And now that I'm doing these videos again, that's why I made 2. 2 is my goal for the month of March. And then my last business goal is to save 80% of my income each week to decorate and furnish our apartment. So Mark and I are actually moving out to our new place on April 1st, and I'm so excited. So that's a huge goal of mine, is like getting everything organized for that in the month of March, because literally April 1st, we're gonna be in the new place and it's gonna be great. Love, okay, so I say 1 date night per week. So usually Friday nights are Mark and I's date night. Call 1 family member or friend per week and talk on the phone or FaceTime them. Do not text them, because I get in the habit of just texting. Like ever since I moved to Canada, it's so easy to just send a text and be like, hey girl, miss ya. But how much more personal is it to call somebody or FaceTime them? It's so much better. So, you know, don't be lazy, Julie. Do that, okay? The next one is to go out of my way to make new friends and engage in conversations with people. So again, this is something, I'm a very introverted person by nature, so it's hard for me to go out of my way and just start a conversation with somebody. Like, it's not that I'm unfriendly, it's just, it takes a little bit more planning and effort and being like, okay, I'm gonna say hi, I'm gonna ask this person how their day is, I'm gonna be genuinely interested in how they're doing, and then just let them talk, because people love to talk about themselves, you know? So just opening up that line of communication and making new Canadian friends. That's my goal. So that's business and love. On the next one is health. So my goal is to work out 5 times per week, 3 to 4 days of lifting, 2 spin classes and 2 workouts with my trainer. So those days will somewhat overlap, obviously, because that would be like more than 7 days, and there's not more than 7 days in a week. So I'll just overlap that, and I plan that in my calendar, like my monthly planner or my weekly planner, which I'll show you. Continue to practice mindful eating, so only eating when I'm truly hungry, and if I am eating a meal, don't necessarily eat the whole thing just because it's there, but really start to listen to my body and eat when I'm hungry and stop when I'm full. And then be a great accountability buddy for Caitlin. So my friend Caitlin is on this fitness kick right now, and I really want to be supportive of her. So we text each other about our workouts, we text each other about our nutrition, and we just keep each other in line. So I want to be a good, show up and be a great accountability partner for Caitlin. I love you, Caitlin, if you're watching. Hey, girl. Okay, last one, self-care. So 1 walk per day. Walking is everything to me. I love going on walks. It's when I have my most creative ideas. It just allows me to ground myself so that I can show up fully for the rest of the day. Leave my phone plugged into the charger near the front door. So this was Mark's idea, and I think it is genius. I am in love with his idea, because what do you do when you get home? Like, even if I've been on my laptop all day, my break from my laptop is being on my phone, but then I start to get headaches, and I realize that I'm just consuming stupid, pointless things like scrolling through my Instagram feed or on Facebook or whatever. So my goal is to leave my phone at the door, spend quality time with the people I love, because the people you love are right in front of you. They're not on a screen somewhere. So just take that into consideration and just be grateful for what's truly in front of you and be present, which is another one of my goals for this month of March. Read 2 new books. I love reading, love, as long as it's a good book. I like reading it. 2 of the books that I read last month that I'm obsessed with, The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks and The War of Art by Steven Pressfield. Those 2 were game changers for me. So if you are really interested in building better habits, I would highly recommend reading those 2 books. And then my last goal is to create more and consume less, which this is an overarching goal for the year of 2018. That's kind of my mantra, is to spend less time consuming information like other people's podcasts and videos and Facebook feeds and news feeds and whatever, and start creating more of my own, which is why I've been doing a blog post every single week this year. I have been doing a newsletter. I'm starting to create videos, because now that I'm not consuming as much of everybody else's stuff, which sometimes can be helpful if you're trying to learn something new, but oftentimes it's just a way of procrastinating, for me at least. Now I'm in the mode of creating, and I just love sharing this kind of stuff with you. So that's the first step. So grab some coffee, grab a journal, and just write out your intentions. Write out the things that are gonna make you come alive in all those different important areas of your life that are just gonna set you up for success, and just build healthy habits. So step number 2 is putting it all down, all your most important things on a hanging wall calendar. So this is hanging in my room next to my bulletin board, right next to my bed, so that I can see all the important things that I have to do, all the major things that are required of me every single week for the month. So here's the thing, when you have a planner, I love planners and it's great, but if you close your planner and you don't look at it for the day or the week even, it's very hard to remember your goals. So that's why it's important to have something that's hanging up to constantly remind you of what your intentions are that you just wrote out. So what I organize on this big hanging wall calendar is not necessarily the day-to-day stuff like take a shower, go for a walk, like all that. It's mainly just the big things. So schedule out events and appointments and all the major things that you need to do during the month. Like this month, I'm actually going to see Demi Lovato because Mark got me that as a Christmas gift, and I love her. She's so empowering and just great. If you haven't watched her documentary on YouTube, I highly recommend it, because that's why I started loving her. Didn't really know about her before that, or before Sorry Not Sorry, so love her. Okay, but then I'm also hosting a goal-setting brunch at my friend's house in the month of March, and we're doing, I dance for a dance workshop, so I write down all my workshops and I write down the fundraiser that we're doing. So just all the major things that you need to make sure that you do, or plans that you schedule with your friends, whatever. We have a housewarming party, Mark's family is throwing us, and then we move into our new apartment April 1st. I'm so excited. So Like I said, this is just a way for you to tangibly see your goals on the wall every single day to remind you of what's important. So now that you've written out all the major things you want to do, now you can move on to the fun part, which is your planner. And the planner I use is what I will do to feel the way I want to feel. It's the Desire Map Planner from Danielle LaPorte. I highly, 10 out of 10 recommend this planner. I'm so obsessed with it. Like I said, I'm a planner person, so I've tried like every single planner there is. This one is my favorite. So it actually has, kind of like we've been talking about, it has a monthly check-in at the beginning of each month where it asks you your core desired feelings for the month, your major intentions and goals for the year, how to generate your core desired feelings through your intentions and goals, and then just a whole space to write out the intention setting that I just did. So you can essentially use this for both, but I just like having a journal. I don't know, I like journaling and just keeping things separate. So if you're interested or in the market for a new planner, this is bomb.com. But this day-to-day planner is where I will actually go in and write out hour by hour. It has a schedule section, what I need to do that day. So I will write down, I usually do this the night before, so I'll plan out my day the night before. I'll write 8 o'clock, wake up, and then do my affirmations in the morning, journal, meditate, go for a walk. And then my day usually starts after that. So then I'll write my workout, whatever I have my scheduled workout is for that day, I'll write it in there. I'll write down all my client appointments that I have for that day in there. I'll chunk out a block of time for creative work. So 1 or 2 hours I work on a blog post or a newsletter or a video like this, creating a video, something that is creative. And this is especially important if you have a side business or a hobby or something you are trying to create or bring into the world, or just something you love to do, but you're always putting off and saying you don't have time. Schedule out that creative time into your schedule and make it a non-negotiable. That is key, because if not, then you'll just put it off till tomorrow because it's not important and you have bills to pay and you want to go to your real job and whatever. I get it, but if it's important to you, you have to schedule it down, because if you don't schedule it, it ain't real, girl. So schedule your life and watch your dreams come true. Seriously though, it's so true. And another thing I love about this planner is that over here you'll see it has 3 things. So those are the 3 most important things that you need to get done. So I usually try to, there's a saying that's called eating the frog, I think it is, where you essentially first thing in the morning do the thing that you don't want to do. So whether that is something like going to the DMV and switching your license and you've been putting that off for 3 months, or it's something like writing a couple pages in your new ebook, or it is working on reading a book, whatever it is. How many times do you have a mile-long to-do list and it ends up making you feel worse at the end of the day because you're not able to accomplish everything on it, and then it just gets rolled over to the next day and the next day and the next day? By prioritizing the top 3 things you need to do, you can check those off, because 3 things is not that many things to do in the day. It could be like going to the gym, working for 8 hours, and then working on my side projects. And then you're done with that. You do that, and that builds confidence, and it makes you want to actually continue to progress and do things, as opposed to having 20 things on your to-do list, only getting to 3, and then you kind of feel like that's a failure. Do you see what I'm saying? So set yourself up for success. Work with yourself rather than against yourself. Okay? And then another thing I love about this planner specifically, one more thing, is that they have a stop doing section, a gratitude section, and a want to change section. So it's pretty much just you write a list of things you're grateful for, which sometimes you forget to do or even think about throughout the day. So it's a very tangible thing. You can just write it right here, like 3 things. I love the feeling of my bed. I love my husband. I love kissing my husband. I love hugging my husband. Whatever. And then stop doing. So usually in this section I say, stop scrolling on Facebook or Instagram, Julie, stop it, stop it. It's the same thing every day. I'm trying to work on it, okay? You saw my intentions. You saw my intentions. My intentions are good. So yeah, those are 3 things that I do to organize at the beginning of the month. Usually I will do the intention setting in the beginning of the month within the first few days, so that I can have the whole month to bring my ideas to fruition and to make my life better. And by Creating all of this, it may seem like a lot, but when you get into the habit of doing it, it makes it a lot easier to bring your dreams to life. Imagine your life a year from now. The time is going to pass anyway, so you might as well start getting organized and start getting everything in alignment with what you truly want for yourself, because like I said, the time is going to pass anyway. So wouldn't you rather do something for yourself, set yourself up with healthy habits every single month and week and day so that you can start creating the foundation for the life you really want to live. That's what I'm here to teach you, is to create a body and life you love. So this is an element of creating a life you love, which also helps you create a body you love. So I hope you found this helpful. Let me know, give me a like or comment below one thing you took away from this video that you found helpful and how you organize your day and your life. And don't forget to subscribe to my newsletter, because that is where I keep you in the loop with everything I have going on, my blogs, my newsletters, my podcast, my